travel ban to be extended to other Chinese provinces declared under lockdown. Well, the temporary travel ban on Chinese nationals arriving from Hubei province and the city of Wuhan will be extended to all other provinces placed under lockdown by the Chinese government in the wake of the 2019 novel coronavirus infection. Now, Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said the Immigration Department will also from now impose a travel ban on the province as soon as the Chinese government declares it under lockdown. Now, Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also National Disaster Management Agency or NADMA chairman, said Malaysia's border security will also be tightened. She also said more thermal scanners and laboratory facilities will be installed to quicken test samples results. She added the Health Ministry will provide additional 2019 nCoV diagnostic testing facilities, including roping the services of private health laboratories. This, she said, is to complement the existing 18 facilities comprising the Institute for Medical Research or IMR, National Public Health Laboratory MKAK, 4 state public health laboratories and 12 hospital laboratories nationwide. Well, earlier the Deputy Premier chaired a special meeting on the coronavirus infection in Putrajaya. Well, 2 Malaysian families of WHO and non-essential staff from Guangzhou arrived at KLIA at 8 p.m. last night. Now, upon arrival, they were taken to a health checkpoint to undergo medical screening. Well, Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail in a statement said all of them were allowed to return home and placed under home surveillance for 14 days. Well, she added that they were required to immediately report to a nearby clinic or hospital if they have symptoms such as cough, cold, fever, shortness of breath or other health problems. Now, meanwhile, the government was prepared to assist the 34 Malaysians in Wuhan who could not return to the country. The Deputy Premier said at present they cannot leave the Hubei province following the travel ban imposed by the Chinese government. Malaysia is not facing any risk of recession despite the government's plan to expedite the introduction of the planned economic stimulus package. Well, instead, according to Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, the package to be unveiled was more to ensure sustainable economic growth rather than following the outbreak of the 2019 novel coronavirus or 2019 nCoV. Now, Lim said a meeting would be held with the most affected sectors in order to gather input. The stimulus package would be presented to the cabinet and it will be announced soon. He was met after witnessing the signing of a new project funding agreement for the Sarawak portion of the BORNEO highway in Putrajaya. In a statement on Wednesday, the Finance Ministry said other ministries, including Tourism, Economic Affairs and International Trade and Industry, will be consulted before a package is announced. The Malaysian Association of Tour and Travel Agents, or MATTA, hope the government will introduce a bigger economic stimulus package to assist sectors affected by the coronavirus. Now, MATTA President Dato Tan Kok Leong is hopeful that the economic stimulus package to be announced soon would far exceed the 8.1 billion ringgit growth plan rolled out in 2003 or the 60 billion ringgit stimulus package announced in 2009. In a statement, he said MATTA have proposed forward-looking recovery measures. Now, these include an increase of promotion and marketing initiatives for domestic and inbound tourism, easing the criteria and requirements for matching grants under Galakkan Melancong Malaysia, also known as Gamelan Malaysia. Now, MATTA also proposed a review on the tourism tax rate, reduce or waive contributions and taxes such as those mandatory for the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, Human Resources Development Fund, tourism tax, road tax and fees for various company licenses and vehicle permits. Well, MATTA is also hopeful for an easing of visa restrictions for India and more government events and functions be held in hotels. In addition, financial institutions could give out special loans, reduce interest rates or allow deferment in loans repayment as tour buses are idle more often than running. A total of 21,700 ringgit of compounds were issued by the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs to 9 premises nationwide for selling face masks above the permitted price. Now, the ministry's Deputy Secretary General for Domestic Market, Dr. Alauddin Sidal, said the action was taken after numerous complaints were received from the public over increased prices in the wake of the 2019 nCoV infection. Elaborating further, he said to date the ministry had inspected 1,314 premises that sell face masks, adding 9 were charged under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011.
Kita lihat adalah menjual melebihi harga maksimum lah. Jadi itu kesalahan yang kita dapati yang dilakukan dalam jumlah yang nilai rampasannya RM3,175 dan nilai kompanya RM21,000. Jadi itu yang ketara sekali, iaitu ada peniaga yang menjual melebihi daripada harga maksimum.
He said this after visiting a face mask manufacturing plant in Meru, Klang to have an insight about mass productions. The manufacturing plant is now increasing its production from 400,000 pieces to 500,000 pieces of face mask per day. In a related matter, 2 premises in Kulai and Johor Bahru, Johor, were issued with compounds of 10,500 ringgit each after they were found to be selling face masks at higher prices than permitted. They were found committing the offences by Johor Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, who conducted inspections on 135 pharmacies, drugstores and other premises that sell face masks since 29th of January. Now, the ministry in a statement said both premises were given a period of 14 days to sell the compound or face legal action under Section 11 of the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011. If convicted, they will be fined up to 100,000 ringgit or face jail terms not more than 3 years or both. And for the individual offences, the compound may reach until about 50,000 ringgit, while for a company the fine may reach 500,000 ringgit or a compound of 250,000 ringgit. Well, Parti Keadilan Rakyat PKR Vice President Zuraida Kamarudin describes her decision to take leave from all posts in the party as a professional act. Well, she said it is a fair action to take the leave until the disciplinary board procedure on her are completed.
Untuk membuat keputusan selanjutnya daripada lembaga disiplin akan dibentangkan kepada Biro Politik. Jadi oleh kerana saya adalah orang berkenaan, jadi lebih profesional kalau saya menarik berehat untuk mereka buat keputusan. Saya tidak mahu mempengaruhi keputusan yang dibuat dalam Biro Politik.
Meanwhile, Zuraida said she has seen 2 charges of slander which were made against her in court by 2 PKR leaders recently. She said she won't be replying to the letters until they were brought into court, as they were defamation suits. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has denied allegations of no action taken on a grave complaint about a conflict of interest in the awarding of a subcontract. Selangor MACC Director Dato' Alias Salim said the Commission had replied in writing pertaining to the issue and status of the case, which is still ongoing. Well, the statement was referring to a report made by Bukit Gasing Assemblyman in a media conference recently involving issue of Petaling Jaya Municipal Council, or MBPJ. Well, according to Dato' alias, Selangor MACC had replied in writing on 4th December and 20th January. However, he said MACC could not divulge details of the case for fear it would prejudice the ongoing probe. He added that the investigation papers will be handed over to the Attorney General's office once it is completed. The termination of the Pan-Borneo Highway Sarawak Project Delivery Partner, or PDP, agreement has saved the government 3.1 billion ringgit in cost. And Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said with the PDP, the cost was expected to be 21.9 billion ringgit, but through conventional means, the project would cost about 18.8 billion ringgit. According to Lim, with the termination of the previous agreement, the government did not have to pay the PDP 5.5% of the target costs of the project, as well as other reimbursable costs. The termination of the agreement was effective 20th February.
Saya bagi pihak Kementerian Kewangan yakin bahawa projek lebuh raya BORNEO Sarawak sepanjang 786.4 km ini akan menjadi pemangkin atau katalis kepada pembangunan sosio-ekonomi kepada negeri Sarawak. Penjimatan 3.1 bilion ringgit daripada projek ini selepas ia siap akan digunakan untuk projek-projek infrastruktur lain di Sarawak.
Earlier, Lim witnessed the signing of the mutual termination letter by representatives of the federal government, Sarawak State Government and the PDP company. He also witnessed the signing of the new project funding agreement between the federal government and Dana Infra National Berhad. Also present at the ceremony were Federal Works Minister Barubian. Well, about 3,100 residents of Mersing, Johor have benefited from the East Coast Economic Region, or ECER, Empower program since it was launched 7 years ago. The Human Capital Development Program has successfully increased the income as well as providing more working opportunities to the local community. Johor Menteri Besar Dato' Dr. Shahruddin Jamal said the program is in line with the state government's effort to increase the socio-economy of the local community, especially those in the B40 group.
Kejayaan para peserta yang kita dapat saksikan pada hari ini merupakan pencapaian yang amat membanggakan. Salah harapan saya agar lebih ramai lagi warga tempatan akan menyertai dan memanfaatkan program-program pembangunan modal insan yang dilaksanakan oleh ECERDC.
About 400 participants received recognition certificates for finishing the ECER Empower course. 3 of them, Mursina Zainuddin, Muhammad Farid Izzuddin Malika Zulkifli and Suryanti Zainal Abidin, also were awarded with the Anugerah Usahawan Gemilang. The program is also in line with the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030 that aimed to boost fair, inclusive and sustainable growth in the country. We begin with local sports. The Petronas Yamaha Sepang Racing Team SRT yesterday revealed its liveries for the 2020 MotoGP season, as the team is expected to maintain last season's amazing performance ahead of the campaign. Now, the team achieved an unbelievable performance in their Premier Class debut in 2019 after finishing 4th in the team standing, while its rider Fabio Quartararo of France emerged as the Rookie of the Year and ended the season in 5th place. Petronas Yamaha SRT team principal Dato' Razlan Razali said the team was aiming to improve in every aspect despite the higher expectations and pressure. Well, speaking on riders' motivation, Dato' Razlan believed both Quartararo and his teammate Franco Morbidelli of Italy are set to put up a challenge in the new season. With Quartararo already having secured his position with Yamaha until 2022, the Petronas Yamaha SRT team principal said it would be a perfect boost for Morbidelli to step up his race throughout the season. And that concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, World Health Organization says too early to say coronavirus peaking in China. Do join us again at 7 p.m. for more updates on the latest happenings here and around the world, including the Le Tour de Langkawi. Till then, I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos, and do stay tuned to TV2.